Hello everyone, the December Review here, back again with a movie review. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are also back as Bill and Ted. 19 years later, after the franchise's second film, we find Bill and Ted Face the Music, turning the series into a trilogy. Will this be another most excellent adventure, or should death have killed this idea off? Let's find out, and spoilers ahead.
No way! How's it going, Bill and Ted?
So here we are in 2020, the year where literally anything and everything is possible. Amidst the chaos of the times, the happy-go-lucky team of Bill and Ted are back on their most periled adventure yet. Living in middle-aged life, the pair have yet to write the song that will bring the world together. A visit from Rufus's daughter, Kelly, and a trip through space to meet the great leader, they find out that they have a short time to create the song, or life as we know it will cease to exist. We enter a time-traveling race forwards and backwards as Bill and Ted, their daughters Billy and Thea, plus their princess wives Joanna and Elizabeth, shift and swerve through dimensions to create the song and save the world.
Excellent!
There's a lot of good going on in Bill and Ted Face the Music. First off, it's great to get the nostalgic film that harkens back to a simpler time. It helps that the tone and energy with the series remains intact. A breath of fresh air in these trying times. I will say when I saw the trailer a while back, I was a tad skeptical, as I wasn't sure if the years gone by could play well with the early 90s vibe and overall positive goofiness we enjoyed back then. Thankfully, not only was I wrong, but the film felt just as alive in 2020 as the previous films were, and just as funny as well. Our two leads jump right back into these roles as if no time has passed. Only the almost 20 years since the Bogus Journey timeline is kept intact, as the pair find themselves down on their luck and wondering if it's officially time to hang it up and put an end to their music career. Ted even mentions he got an offer on a guitar, and it sure sounded like he needed the money. But that's just part of the short setup, as things quickly get in motion and the phone booth appears. Throughout the film, Alex and Keanu play off each other perfectly, finishing each other's thoughts and lines. Their chemistry is as evident as ever, and there are moments that are just flat out funny. There's something to be said about the way Keanu delivers some of his lines here, with that quirky, I have no idea what I'm doing look on his face, but at the same time saving the world. I laughed out loud multiple times. One question fans had was, how would the character Rufus be parlayed since the passing of the legendary George Carlin, who, for my money, is the greatest comedian and overall genius that ever took the stage. But one need not worry, as his daughter fills the role well, and we even get a quick holographic George moment. I thought for a second Rufus would have more screen time, but is lovingly kept as a cameo. Bill and Ted decide that with their limited amount of time they have to write the song that will save the world, they will instead jump into the future to visit themselves after they have already written it, then take it back to present day. This sets up various shenanigans as they start 2 years ahead with no luck, then keep jumping and jumping ahead until they reach themselves near the end of their lives. With each passing version of themselves, they see that their wives have left them, and Ted has quite the drinking problem. Meanwhile, their daughters get a hold of a phone booth themselves and decide to help out by going back into time to assemble the greatest band ever. This includes gathering up Jimi Hendrix, Louis Armstrong, and Mozart, among others. The daughters are played with the same vigor and positivity as our leads. At times, the character work is uncanny. There is a subplot involving a robot sent by the great leader to destroy Bill and Ted, with the hope that maybe Rufus was wrong and that their death would bring the salvation needed. Well, our RoboCop Time Lord happens to be hilariously bad at his job, managing to mistakenly kill off Ted's dad before nuking their daughters, wives, and new band members. The robot, named Dennis, lets Bill and Ted know he accidentally did this and goes to kill himself. The pair jump into the shot, resulting into the setup we all saw coming when the film was announced. With pretty much the entire cast in hell, it's up to one person to get our gang back on Earth to save the world. William Sadler laces up the cloak again, brilliantly returning as the character Death. He brings all the charm we enjoyed in Bogus Journey and adds a layer of hurt and despair. See, he's not too happy with Bill and Ted for booting him out of the Wild Stallions. The three have an extremely well-written scene about how the bandmates ended things years ago. At a stalemate, the daughters jump in to rescue the relationship, resulting in everyone returning to Earth with only minutes to spare. I just want to say there's a small moment when Bill, Ted, and Death meet each other for the first time again, and a tetherball bounces off of Death's head. It's just so random and perfect and had me laughing.
Hey, Death.
If it isn't the Wild Stallions.
As you would expect, the band saves the world and everyone is happy in the end. There's a nice twist where it turns out that the daughter's song ends up being the one that was prophesized all along. For a moment, you almost feel out of place as the bandmates jam away sans Bill and Ted. But we are given a reprise as the pair eventually pick up their guitars and take center stage, wailing away.
Most unfortunate.
I didn't find much of anything to be negative about here. The whole thing came together very well, and there wasn't any glaring or obvious areas in which things didn't work for me.
Most outstanding.
Overall, Bill and Ted Face the Music is either a great way to end the franchise, bringing back our old friends one last time to finish their story, or the perfect way to jumpstart the series for the next generation. It accomplishes both very well. There are a bunch of subtle hints to the previous films while forging new ground in its crazy multiverses of past, present, and future. The film feels split into two halves, the setup then the adventure, as one group ships ahead and the other races backwards, bouncing off of each other along the way. The acting all around is very well done. Alex and Keanu never missed a beat, and neither did the rest of the cast, old faces and new. The film is funny and carries a positive message. Throughout the journey, Bill and Ted remind themselves out loud before approaching someone to remember to make things better. It's filled with an energy that lifts you up and promotes a positive message. Along the way, there are plenty of laughs, and by the end of it, I was smiling ear to ear, ready to rock and roll. Not bad for a sequel 2 decades in the making. Overall, I give Bill and Ted Face the Music 4.5 stars out of 5. Be excellent to each other.
Let's rock! Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.